So if theta is between 90 and 180 degrees and has a tangent of -3/4 or -3/4, find the values of the other 5 trigonometric functions. So let's start by just sketching out what we've got going on. So between 90 and 180 degrees is going to be over in quadrant 2. And in quadrant 2, remember, we're going to have sine is positive, which means also that cosecant, since cosecant is just the reciprocal of sine, they will both be positive. Those ones are going to be positive. Now let's go ahead and sketch out our triangle. And we're told that tangent is opposite over adjacent, or in terms of our triangle, it's going to be the y value over the x value. We're told that it's -3/4. So -3/4. Now we need to figure out which one is our y negative or is our x negative. And so let's think through this for a moment. If sine is going to be positive, then that side needs to be positive. And based just on the picture, that should make a little bit of sense that it's the one going up above the x-axis. So this is going to be a +3, while the x value is left of the y-axis. So this one's going to have to be -4. Okay. Now from there, let's find our third side. So we've got our Pythagorean theorem. So 3 squared plus -4 squared equals the radius squared. And so 9 plus 16 equals radius squared, which hopefully you're pretty familiar with this 3, 4, 5 right triangle. And so 5 is our radius of 5. All right, now we've got all the pieces we need. We can start writing our trig functions. So sine of theta, which is going to be the opposite over hypotenuse, or the y value over the radius, gives us 3/5, which makes sense. Again, it should be positive. So there we are. Doing our cosecant then, the reciprocal of that, cosecant is 5/3. It's the hypotenuse divided by the far side, or the radius divided by the y value. Cosecant of theta. Cosine of theta, that gives us the adjacent over the hypotenuse, or the x value over the radius, and we've got -4/5. The secant, the reciprocal of that, is going to be -5/4. Lastly, our tangent, we're given our tangent already. Tangent of theta is going to be -3/4. And our cotangent of theta will be -4/3. All right, so go ahead and pause the video. Try the next one on your own. Think about where you are located. Sketch that graph out. Think of what's going to be, what will be positive in that quadrant, what your x and y values will have to be, and then go ahead and write out your trig functions. So hope that helps. And yeah, really do pause the video right now, and then we'll continue on after you're done. So. All right, hope you have in fact paused and are coming back now. So we're between 180 degrees and 270, so that's over in quadrant 3. And we're given that well, in quadrant 3, let's do that first. So quadrant 3, what's positive here is going to be tangent. Tangent's positive, meaning that as well, cotangent is positive. So as we sketch out our triangle, we're given that it's 2/3. So tangent, remember, tangent is going to be your opposite over adjacent, or your y over your x. And so y value is going to be 2, and your x value is going to be 3. Now be careful here, because even though we're given positive 2/3, tangent is the one that's positive in this quadrant. It's because we'll think of our x value. That's left of the origin. That's got to be a -3. and the y value is below the origin, meaning it's going to have to be a -2. Now that still would give us our positive 2/3 because -2 divided by -3 is positive 2/3. So there we are. Now we've got to find our third side. So -2 squared plus -3 squared equals the radius squared, or the hypotenuse squared, whichever one you want to use. And then we've got 4 plus 9 equals the radius squared. That's 13 equals radius squared. So the radius is equal to the square root of 13. Square root of 13. All right, now we've got all our pieces. We can write our trig functions. Sine of theta, that's our opposite over hypotenuse, so -2 over the square root of 13. And rationalizing that one out, multiply the top and the bottom by root 13. And switch colors here. Root 13 over root 13. And we get that is going to be equal to -2 root 13 all over 13. Our cosecant, the reciprocal of sine then will be, let's see, come right here, do the reciprocal, and we'll end up with -root 13 over 2. We don't need to end up rationalizing that one since it's already got the radical up in the numerator. Next we'll have cosine of theta is going to be the adjacent over the hypotenuse, so -3 over root 13. Multiply the top and the bottom by radical 13, and we get -3 root 13 over 13. Our secant, the reciprocal of cosine, is going to be -root 13 over 3, and again our radical is already in our numerator. We don't need to worry about rationalizing that one. Lastly, we have tangent, which we're already given. Tangent of theta is going to be -2 over -3, which simplifies down to positive 2/3. And the cotangent of theta is -3 over -2, which simplifies down to positive 3/2. All right, I hope that makes sense. Hope that's what you were able to get on your own, and yeah, hope that helps.